Guys, mumesikia hii? Yani you want to say Mandera County, half of Mandera County is controlled by Jubaland forces. Yani inasemekana kwamba Al-Shabaab wana control half of Mandera County. Na bado tuko na serikali. Na bado Gachagua akiongea mnasema ni mkabila. I think kuna party litauzwa hapa Kenya. Yani Al-Shabaab wana control half of Mandera County. We, ni kubaya. Ni kufiamu. Na bado tuko na serikali. Gachagua knows what he says. Na nilisema nikasema vizuri. Ignore Gigi at your own risk. Ignore Gigi at your own risk. Aya.
Mimi nimesikia William Ruto ametumana kule mashinani, watu waulizwe walikasirishwa na nini. Mimi nataka kumjibu siku ya leo. Watu wa Kenya wamekasirika kwa sababu ameua watoto. Watu wa Kenya wamekasirika kwa sababu ameuza nchi kwa Al-Shabaab. Kule Mandera tunajua ya kwamba ameleta Al-Shabaab kule. Na tunataka kukuambia wewe William Ruto, hii Kenya si yako. Hii Kenya ni yetu. Na hauwezi kuuza Kenya. Hauwezi kuuza Kenya. Tumekataa. Na ndio maana tunasema one term.
Asante. Tuko na mama wetu.
Hi fam and dear Kenyans. We are not safe. Not even the Kenyans who live outside the country. Because when you don't have a country to call home, where will you run back to? Aden Khalif, the governor of Mandera County, just a few hours ago sounded a very concerning alarm.
We want to call upon His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of all the armed forces. Mandera cannot be turned into a battleground for Somalia. We have no interest in Somalia. The only interest we have in Somalia is peace. If they cannot peace and fight, then we have no business to involve in their internal affairs. They have opened a camp in BP1. BP1 primary school is now closed. And there are people who want to do exam in the next 1 month. How do you close a public school and turn it into a military training camp? It is impossible. So tunawaeleza immediate relocation.
Honestly, let's be honest. This is not something new because Gachagua about a month ago he had already mentioned about it. So we cannot ignore Gachagua at this point.
Even as we speak today, half of Mandela is occupied by forces from Jubaland, and I would have expected these leaders over the weekend, the governor, the senator, the MPs, who are making a lot of noise about Rigiji, to have defended the people of Mandera from the incursions by forces from Jubaland instead of castigating Rigathi Gachagua.
DFM, I think we are biting more than we can chew. And by biting more than we can chew, I mean WSR. That is Ruto, our president. He's biting more than he can chew. We can play around with SHA. We can play around with all the taxpayers' money because we can work hard and get more money and all that. But when we burn our country, we cannot get another place to call home. That is something that Ruto doesn't understand. These guys have already accumulated enough money for them to get another home whenever they feel like, whatever. They've bought villas and all that across the entire globe. But what about the common mwananchi like us? We don't have any other place to call home. So now, you remember just recently, we were facilitating and supplying weapons to RSF in southern Sudan. And the issue became an issue until we've forgotten about it. We even gave them a platform to form a parallel government in our country. Now, it's the Jubaland forces or whatever they are called. We have evacuated kids who are supposed to do exam in 1 month's time. And we've given that land and that space for the Jubaland forces to train so that they can go and attack the militias in Somali or whatever the things they are going to do there. We have no interest in Somali. We don't even care what they are going to do there. That's not our concern. Our concern is national security. that nobody is talking about, that even the Cabinet Secretary for National Security is not saying anything about it. But you know why? Because she was handpicked. Do you know who is the Cabinet for National Security? Cabinet Secretary? That is Soipan Tuya. Who is Soipan Tuya? Allegedly, Ruto alikuwa anampanda miti. Allegedly. You know, the previous experience that she had, she was the Cabinet Secretary for Forestry, Environment and things like that. So walikuwa anapanda miti na Ruto. Si ati Ruto alikuwa anampanda miti. But there's something like that was happening. She was handpicked by Ruto to become the Cabinet Secretary for National Defense. Without prior experience with military stuff and all that. That's the person who's supposed to advise Ruto on matters national security and military tact and all those things. So allegedly Kahariri has no place. So the person doing all the advisory and everything is Ruto himself. Because when you have your own girlfriend, allegedly girlfriend, to be your own advisor on matters national security, then that means you advise yourself, because you cannot listen to her. Like, what do you talk about in the cabinet meetings? Probably about kupanda miti. I digress, but we gave the people in Mandera national IDs without vetting. That is point I want you to understand. That is very risky. And now you see what the things that are happening. Do you remember that 5 chiefs were abducted in Mandera? They disappeared and then they appeared after 60 days of abduction by the militia groups. Why are we playing so much with our land? Why are we so? How are we in control of the Jubaland forces training in our country and then they go attack the Al-Shabaabs? The retaliation will be on our land. You get the point? So this is where we are losing our country, because we literally have no control of whatever that is happening, and nobody is talking about it. The Cabinet Secretary for National Defense has not spoken about it. The military is even assisting this group called the Jubaland whatever. Our military. This is, someone made a joke, actually it was Okiya Mtata, that our military will be privatized. More. Kenyans, do you know how much risk we have exposed ourselves into? We have exposed ourselves, not with the Sudanese RSF, not with the Al-Shabaabs and the Jubaland people in Somalia. I mean, why are we poking people's noses while we have so much going on in our own country? The same Mandera County ndio imejaa scam za SHA, headed by Aden Duale, because if you trace everything, the links will go back to their tables. That's why there's nobody who's being arrested. Yes, we can play around with the public money because Kenyans work really hard and we can work hard again and get more money. But can we get another country when it's burned into ashes? Why are we joking with things that we cannot even handle by ourselves? I mean, are you seeing the dangers that we are exposing ourselves into? Or am I just paranoid or just over too concerned?
We cannot allow foreign forces who are heavily armed to come and start operating within our territory. The people of Mandera today are living in fear. Some cannot access their farms, some cannot get their children to school. And as we speak, there are those out of fear who are moving away. This cannot be allowed, because this is a sovereign nation. It is a violation of our sovereignty. It's a violation of our territorial integrity, and this must not be allowed. I'm very, very surprised that up to now the CS in charge of defense, who comes from Narok here, has not said anything. We've not had any statement from KDF. Are they allowing Jubaland forces to operate within Kenyan territory with the authority of KDF, with the authority of the commander-in-chief? Why is the CS quiet about this? Why is the foreign office quiet about this? When the people of Mandera, the governor, we have as DAPK our own MCA who has called and told us the situation on the ground is not good. Kenyans are living in fear within their own land. Mandera is Kenya, and any inch of our territory that has been violated is in direct violation of international law.
Mandera peoples, they are also Kenyans. There is nobody, no citizen within the borders of this country should feel left out by the nation, by the security arms, because all of this is happening under the watch of KDF. If anything, there is a lot of instability in Somalia, and these Jubaland forces should be taking all that into their country. For heaven's sake, how do you turn a school into a military training camp? We are just a few months to the main exams. How do you do this? Who advises this government? What interest do they have in Somalia?
So Jubaland forces, they have a place they can do their training in Somalia. I wonder why they have been allowed to come to our country and to practice. And these are militias, they're illegal militias. In their countries, they are not allowed to operate. But here, they've been given a chance to exercise their illegal duties here. They are practicing how to murder people. And so, that is very unfortunate. It is very unfortunate because the government understands that as Kenya, we would want to keep our peace with our neighboring countries. And this is one of the practice that makes it difficult to be trusted by other countries, especially the East Africa. Me, what I would say, my opinion, the government should take an immediate action and drive away those militia and ensure we regain our control again. So it's very bad. And the other sad part is that this is not something that just happened yesterday or started happening yesterday. It is something that has been going on for weeks, and we are wondering, what is the end product of this? Is it that these people want to recruit more of their militia from Kenya? Is it something that is recognized by the government? Is it something that is supported by the government? Because I assume we have enough intelligence to take care of those things before even they happen. So it's very bad and very unfortunate. And we are saying this as the citizens of this country. We are condemning that action, and we would want the government to take immediate action against those forces and ensure such does not happen again. My name is Isaac Masharia. I am vying for MCA Ngaimurunya Ward in Rongata Rongai, and those are the things that we are pointing out as early as right now, and we'll keep on pointing out as many issues as possible. And keep watching us.
Mengi umeona yaliyojiri kule kaunti ya Mandera. County boss anasema anaomba serikali. Jubaland forces are roaming around in the streets of Mandera. They've even taken over a school as their training grounds within the sovereign borders of our country, Kenya. And Gachagua said it just the other day during his interview with Yvonne. Jubaland forces are here.
We say very clearly, the people of Mandera are very innocent, and they have nothing to do with these accusations. The accusations are against the William Ruto, not the people of Mandera. The fact that the meeting is alleged to have taken place in Mandera does not make the people of Mandera party to any such meeting.
Unafikiria wanatrain wakitolewa wapi? These are the young men and women of Mandera. Why is this happening in our country? And the funny thing is that the KDF is on the standby just watching. What is happening? Like, what is going on in our country? Ni nini mbaya inaendelea na sisi?
We want to call upon His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of all the armed forces. Mandera cannot be turned into a battleground for Somalia. We have no interest in Somalia. The only interest we have in Somalia is peace. If they cannot peace and fight, then we have no business to involve in their internal affairs.
Wakili, how are you doing?
I'm okay, love. How are you?
I'm good.
Yes.
Gachagua already sees himself as the better candidate for 2027. Now that you are also in Safina party, Why should Kenyans believe on the Jimmy Wanjigi Willie Sutino ticket as the real alternative?
Because we are chaperoning politics of issues. It's about the people's agenda, not about politicians. So it should not be about an individual. What does that individual represent as the issue that is of concern to the people of Kenya? So ask us, what do we stand for? We stand for the economy.
What vision and future plans do you have?
Our vision is very straightforward and very clear. We are going to pay odious debt. Illegal debt, we will not pay.
Yeah.
Then you ask us, what will you do with the money that you save? We will not pay for, Kenya will not pay for education. It will be free. They will not pay for healthcare. It will be free. We are going to stop borrowing from domestic market. With your ideas, you can walk into a bank here and access capital at a lesser interest rate. Today, you go there, interest rate 20%. Yeah. Why? Because government is borrowing heavily from that market. We'll stop borrowing from the domestic market. Let Kenyans access that money. Interest rate will fall to 3%. You borrow 1 million, in a year you are paying 30,000 at 3% interest rate. Who will not be able to economically feel empowered? Yeah. That is the difference between us and legacy politicians. Yeah. To them, it's about me, mtu wetu. I need to be a big person. No, we want Kenyans to be the big person by having money in their pockets.
Thank you so much, Wakili.
Thank you.
Ruto simpigi kura. Amenajisi nchi. Bila kutumia hata kondom.
This is Selector Dede.
Wanadhani asi bongo lala, ikikupita we bongo lala. Na walosema jana iwezi fika leo, tuko ground tunazoza. Hatujikuku mewaka sana, na mabisto na chafua rada. Na walosema jana iwezi fika leo, tuko ground tunazoza. Hakuna mboka, peleke shuleni watasoma. Madaktari wamegoma, hapa sani Yesu atatuponya. Wambie punde imechoka sana, farasi bado ijapatikana. Ni mandai wanagonya na mali wanaponda, unakonda wananona. Mandamano, 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 amise mandamano, mandamano, mandamano,
Jam down, shuffle.